Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2.
Part 2. Wait!
Amazing parter.
I like that. But we can do a part 3 of this because there was Unification part 3. There is a canon precedent. And then we can do, of course, 20 parts if you want to do a DS9 arc. But you're here or there, Stuart. How you doing today on Thursday?
Not too bad. Tired and drained and feel like ass. But
Yes.
other than that, I'm okay. How are you?
Yes. As you know, I'm extending my enthusiasm to you all. Stuart, taketh my enthusiasm, my very fluffy hair, because look, I washed it and it's just...
It was fluffy.
It's like a tribble, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the trouble.
Haha!
Anyway, welcome back, guys. Yeah, today we're doing two-parters. Viewer's choice. We've already done this. We had part 1 last week. And you guys were having a good time throwing us some ones we really didn't think of. There's still a lot that hasn't been talked about. And you guys wanted a part 2. So here we are for the part 2 of the two-parter. I mean, part 2 of the talking about two-parters. Viewer's choice. You know the routine.
You do.
Anyway. Yeah. So, and this is where you guys are in charge. You steer the ship, as it were. You super chat in. You give us the two-parters you want us to talk about. You put them on a tier list after having a discussion. And if you don't agree, if it's something you're very passionate about, you can move it up or down a tier by super chatting in. So.
And if you wrote the episode and want it to be an S, I mean, maybe you can do it with only $1 super chat. Who knows, right? Who knows? But what do you think of my thumbnail, Stuart? I thought it was kind of a weird one, but like, ooh, if you know, kind of thumbnail. Suda. Dramatic.
It was creepy.
Yes. Excellent. Achieved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is where we got to last time. Stuart, now before we, and as you guys may have seen the list, let us know. It's a really broad spectrum. And this also does take into account parts 1 and 2 being, again, different equations per each of these sort of rankings. So in S, Stuart, we have Voyager's Scorpion, Voyager's Equinox, and Enterprise's Intima Darkly. How do you feel, because we haven't looked at this since last time we did this, how do you feel about that?
I think those are all very deservedly in S. So, yes.
I would agree. Very S-able. In A, we have The Way of the Warrior and Homefront. Any thoughts?
No.
I don't know if I necessarily agree Homefront being an A compared to Way of the Warrior now I'm revisiting. Because I don't think Homefront matches Way of the Warrior. As a bar. Don't know. I know you talk about the how effective a vibe it was, but Way of the Warrior is much more effective as a Trek episode. Now I'm just saying, Stu, that I'm surprised that's an A in the same league as Way of the Warrior. What do you think?
I think it is just in a different way. I love the kind of uneasiness of those episodes, because how many changelings are on Earth? We don't know. But look, there's Smiley. I mean O'Brien. I mean Changeling Man.
Petty Officer, Ensign, Transport Chief, all the different ranks. Okay, fair enough. B, we have Killing Game, and it's fun, the font type help, which shows which. So that's 4 from Voyager, Killing Game, Future's End, Basics, Dark Frontier, and 1 from DS9, Improbable Cause. I already forgot which Improbable Cause is, I'm going to be honest.
Isn't that the... I don't know. And Basics. I don't know what Basics is.
Oh, Basics is the thumbnail one, where the crew gets stranded.
Yeah, gotcha.
Improbable Cause is the Double Dominion one, where the fleet.
Yeah.
The double shooting a Dominion homeworld founder, and then the guy's not a Romulans or Cardassian or a changeling. And C, we have TNG times Our Own Birthright, DS9's The Search, and TOS The Menagerie. In DS9, we have TNG Conspiracy, DS9 Past Tense, And right there down at the bottom, F. We are effing descent. It has descended to the bottom. Wab, 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 wab.
Yep.
That one's definitely fair. And I'm going to start
Yes.
showing where you guys have some ideas and put some stuff in. See you in a second.
Do it. And I'll tell you guys, hit that like button. We have 16 of you here, 17 likes. That's really great. But can we get to 20? If you haven't hit like yet, please do so. Don't forget to super chat in with your suggestions for two-parters that are not on this list currently. Any you want to talk about? There are quite a few other ones. Let's be honest. And we will add them to the list, have a discussion, and with you guys as well, and get this sorted out. So anyway, yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as you should. You should be subscribed. If you're not, why not? And if you were subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed again, because YouTube tends to unsubscribe people for no reason without their knowledge. So please check that. Also, click the notification bell icon to all so you get notified when we upload our lives or our edited content, so you can join us or just enjoy the content. You can super thanks on those. You can super chat on these lives. That all helps us out immensely. We appreciate all of it. There's also a join button down there. You can go and join the channel on YouTube here, which is kind of like a monthly way to support us. Or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That is another monthly way that you can help us out. So please do so if you're able to. We really appreciate it. And anything you can do to help, even sharing the videos around or just telling people about Trekyards, we super appreciate. So please do all the above. All the things I just mentioned. Do it now. It's an order, actually. I'm your captain. There you go. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Go check those out. Really cool Trekyards merch there, and we want to see you guys wearing it or owning it. So go check it out and put it in your cart. And if you want to wait for a sale, please do so, because TeePublic has fantastic sales on a regular basis, and you can save yourself a lot of money. So there you go. Now be quiet, because he's back. Shh.
Don't tell him the secrets. Shoot, my birthday was a few months ago. There's no point in doing a surprise party. It's not gonna.
Oh.
Sorry, not gonna work.
I was getting ready to celebrate your death day, but
What?
What? You know you pass your death anniversary every year and don't even realize it? There's a creepy thought.
Do I know that? Yeah, I feel like I... Oh dear.
Could be today. Oh, could be today in 10 years.
Depends what mood Stuart is in.
Anyway.
Alright, have people made their choices?
And we got one.
Oh, Supernova. Cute.
Well, before we get to that one, Alda Enos, member for 12 months at the rank of Admiral. Time pizza, blood wine, and cookies, fish chip, Canadian beer. That's Ozzy's mom.
And how do you feel about that, Stuart?
I don't know what time pizza is. Blood wine is, we've tried that, it's pretty good. And cookies, a fish chip with a thing of fries. So does he mean fries or does he mean chips? Because they're the same thing. But anyway, and Canadian beer, I don't know. I'm confused by it, is what it is.
That is very fair.
But then Ozzy upgrades his membership to Admiral. I thought he was Federation Council.
That's true.
Maybe he had to downgrade. That's fine. But thank you for upgrading. Appreciate it.
Amazing. Once again, multiple kudos for multiple back and forths. Amazing. Thank you very much. These, as you know, they do all the things, Stuart. They do all the things.
And Ray Ricks, £5. Hey, all. How about some Prodigy Love? Supernova.
We do want some Prodigy Love. So just for, I mean, obviously, you know, Supernova. Right? It's the epic and very horrific battle at place with name that I don't remember the name of, but the big end of season 1 episode, 2-parter.
The Boom Boom episodes.
The largest loss of life since First Contact or the Dominion War. Yes. is real. So part 1, all the ships are pretty. Part 2, all the ships ain't pretty anymore.
Lots of destruction. Yeah, this is far and away one of the best new. Well, as we've said many times, I think this Prodigy is the best of the new Trek. This has everything we love in this. Great storytelling, fantastic characters, legacy characters, ships, ship battles. Like, it's not really battles, it's just a massacre. But still, there's a lot of ships going on here, ship porn happening. So this is absolutely, in my opinion, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna wait till I hear what you have to say before I say something. But no, I think there's a lot here that I personally love, and we know how good Prodigy is. We know the love and passion that went into it. I think it shows, and to have the legacy characters as well. There's a lot there that I appreciate.
And Dan, I think we'll say 5 for this because there's only so many 2-parters. So $2 isn't going to work for this, just because I always run out.
Yeah.
Very quick. So sorry, Dan, but you put in 3 to up it if you'd like.
But yeah, that's my thoughts. How about you?
I'm confused by Classic for Reals for a second. But yeah, Supernova, I mean, this is the unexpected epicness that honestly makes other Treks like, oh, we could have done that if it were made later. You know, this makes the DS9 battles look not necessarily small, but undynamic. The fact that this is an entirely canon battle in the sense of they didn't invent any ships, so every single visual has a certain personal impact. You know, they didn't kit bash 10 ships or do the same ship cloned and make the battle feel small and sort of meaningless in a general sense. Like, there's Akira's, there's Defiant, there's Sovereigns, there is Centaurs. And that's kind of it, but that's all you need, really. Plus Dauntless, plus Prostar. It is a ship 2-parter that is, what, like 4 dozen space shots? 5 dozen? It is absolutely jam-packed with some amazing music. Really, really good. Wonderful jokes with the Universal Translator going down. So bring that back, but Gwen being able to communicate everyone because she's learned languages, and that being a sweet moment. The Klingons coming to rescue. The Gorn appears for 2 seconds in the background, which is lovely that they help to rescue, which gives you a sense of people want to help. Yes, the battle itself is a bit slow and a bit... it's very DS9 in the sense that, you know, no one's moving, everyone's shooting, no one's dying. But as Aaron Walke said to us, that's intentional because it means if you want everyone to suffer, you could kill everybody by phone torpedo to the warp core, right? Battle you over in 2 minutes. But that's not the point of the scene. The point is to have... And if every ship's destroyed, then you don't get the lingering effect of calling more ships. So, because it's self-fulfilling. So it makes sense, even if it's an interesting thing. And it's good to see it, you know, Centaur again. So this is a really good 2-parter. There's a few oddities, a little bit, but given how fast the pacing is, it's shockingly consistent. So it's very well written and very well balanced. And it's probably the best 2-parter in Prodigy. And a very good 2-parter. How are you feeling about where you want to place this, Jet? Because it is a rather high on my list of well-dones.
Same. Don't forget the Gorn ship. We saw Gorn ship. We saw a bunch of cool stuff in that.
Yeah.
So,
it's really freaking good.
It is. It's super enjoyable to watch.
And now it is very much an us episode, right? There is a little bit of the... it's a bit biased towards us. But you know what? We're here to talk about it, so it's fine. Padded Trekyards, all you want. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, from the way we kind of praised all over its back, I think we probably want to put it as an S, but I'm not sure. I think putting it an S for now might be a good idea, and then we'll see. Because I mean, you said going through some of them, you're kind of like Homefront. You were kind of about, you know, contrast wise. So I'm not sure. A little
bit, yeah.
I kind of want to put it at S because I absolutely love the shit out of this.
I mean, you've got to have a little bit of context as to what show it's in. Like a TNG 2-parter will not have 75 space shots, right? So you can't compare it that way. I think this is the best equivalent, kind of like Into Darkly, where it utilised TOS perfectly. This utilised the grander Federation feel perfectly for a show that don't feel fully Federation full all the time. So I'm inclined also to give it an S, because I think it is such a strong thing and the biggest space battle in a decade, and very good. With, like I said, the music and the writing all holds up as well. I think it deserves an S. I think it's really good. Yes, the red going fully red is daft and doesn't quite make sense. And as we talked about, it would have been fun had it just been the windows go red for everyone's at red alert, but the actual glows remain the same. That would have worked too, because, you know, that was more logical. And if I was ever to do the battle in a fan film, I would not make everything go red, because why are the warp grills going red? Oh, there's a sign of shut up. Okay. Cool, thanks. You know? But I think it's got to be there, Stuart. I think it's got to be there.
Yes, he already addressed you, Dan, but yes, the Maquis Part 1 and 2, if somebody wants to put another $3 for that, we will get to those. But yes, there's only a certain number of two-parters, so we've got to keep it at least $5 for those. So
or more. That's classic. Is really good too.
Classic for real, $10. Season 7, Episode 4 and 5, TNG. A great two-parter that deserves to be S tier. Everyone talks about that to this day. In the same breath as Best of Both Worlds, Scorpion and the Dominion War Arc, and the best show, Discovery.
Do they talk about it as much?
I mean, it's Gambit, man.
Channing Tatum. We love him.
Yeah, he's about to make a name for himself here.
You've got to say it more French. More French! Almost French.
It's not French, it's no.
I know, but that's the fun of the accents, everything, right?
Yeah.
Gambit. I don't know if we've ever talked about this episode. Apart from the late.
We haven't got there yet. We haven't got to it in the reviews yet.
But it's never really come up in our conversation. Except Savick play not Savick.
And the weapon.
And yeah, well, weapon form. What are your thoughts now here?
I think this was a real stinker as far as the quality of the show at this time. I recently rewatched Part 1 because it was just on, and I checked it out. And I kind of like the mystery at the beginning of, like, is the captain dead? Is he not dead? What's going on? Everybody thinks he's dead, assumes he's dead, and then Riker gets kidnapped, and then it's Picard on the ship, and he's like, just kill him. And then to get into the whole archaeological aspect of it, and this weapon that was used by the Vulcans. Was it the Vulcans or the Romulans? I can't remember now.
Romulans.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, it was Vulcans, because that was always unusual.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a psionic weapon. I like the idea and the premise of it. I just don't think it should have been a two-part episode because I don't think it warrants it. The bad guy is pretty good. The captain with the, like, agonizer thing that he's got on everybody. Everybody does a really good job as far as acting goes as well, but I just don't think it's worthy of a two-parter. And honestly, it's not talked about very much for that very reason. Although I do like seeing the alien ship with the control panels, a lot of TOS styled stuff as well on that ship. Kind of give that vibe of an older ship, which was cool because I wouldn't say you never really see it, but you hardly ever see that. But yeah, this idea of a psionic weapon and I think you have to have malevolent intent, or like, yeah, there's something about how it's used. I just think it's really interesting.
Well, if I recall, he uses the other person's bad vibes against them. So so if you're just at peace, like, so is it ironically a defensive weapon, despite it being a weapon, which is why it became unused in Vulcan Sided, because they became more just serene, and therefore there's nothing angerful to use. Whereas Romulans took it as being the weapon part, but not take it as being the. So I mean, yeah, like I say, that's interesting. Yeah, for me, this has always been an unmemorable two-parter for lots of reasons, even though on paper it sounds super cool. Picard going undercover with some marauders who, like you say, they push a few concepts quite far, right? They do attack the Enterprise, they do this, you know. But Galen, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
But the budget's not very big, at least it feels like it. The set's not very interesting. It's fine. The aliens are fine, but it doesn't have that sort of two-part feel, which I think you allude to as well. And yeah, it's not for me as bad as the Data one. The him going to the past and seeing Guinan, because at least this is very sci-fi filled, And like I think some of the dialogue is quite witty, but obviously you got Twain. They both have witty, but for me, I like this one more conceptually, more sci-fi-y. But isn't there a scene, quite a long scene, where Riker tries to flirt with a large lady with more arms and do a song and sings, and that's like a multi-minute plot point in a bar?
I don't think that's this episode.
Is this episode?
That's the one. Yeah, he's the salt lick. She's got a salt lick, and she's trying to.
Like it's a fine scene, but it's like 6 minutes too long.
I don't think that's this. I think that's another episode entirely.
I'm not even gonna check. You let us know, guys. Possibly.
You got me confused now because I want to say it's another episode.
Oh yeah, Data does take Riker to jail at the end. The ending's great. Yeah. Well, technically you're dead, and technically you mutiny, so you get. That is very clever. That is very funny. That's some unification. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They blend in together, even though they really shouldn't. But they're both more milk toasty TNG.
This one, Deanna is flirting with the bartender at the opening, asking about the bald man that was here that got vaporized because he got shot, but they hid their transporter and the weapon.
Which is cool.
Every time they get shot, it's like.
Oh man, this is so like a below average, but not in a bad way, just in an okay way. And that where are you vibing? Because I'm probably in the C territory, but that's gonna feel like it does nothing particularly bad.
See, it's less memorable for me than like conspiracy.
It is 100%. Yeah.
Past tense.
Yeah. But it's not bad. It's nowhere near Descent.
No, I'd probably.
Well, by that definition,
I'd probably put it in D territory.
Yeah. Okay. Memorability is important, especially when you got ones that are truly definitive. This is not. This is not one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, to me, like I said, this one shouldn't have been a two-parter, I don't think. But what should have been a two-parter was the one with the progenitors, whatever the hell that was called. The Search.
No, that's a DS9 episode.
Or
maybe, doesn't matter. Anyway, yes. Mm-hmm.
I think that one should have been a two-parter. Or was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a really condensed one-parter. It was very quick.
Yeah. I think this one could have had that treatment and make the other one two parts, because there was more to do in the other one. There was more characters and more stuff going on. But
you know what? I mean, that is not an action-filled episode, but you could have brought a lot more into that. I definitely agree.
The chase.
The chase. Yeah, that's a much better idea. I mean, you could easily have done this episode we're just talking about. Start in the middle. You know, start with Picard on the thing on the ship and go from there and commit to that sort of bit. But yeah, some ideas just don't pan out, right? Unless you guys love it, then we're wrong.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. So what is up next? We got Olivia with $5. Would you count a Vulcan hello? And for fuck's sakes, Olivia.
Yes, you would. Because they are part 1, part 2.
They both premiered on the same day, and they both have a two-part.
Yeah. I mean, two-part stories.
Sure.
There are two-part stories that aren't part 1, part 2. Chris is past tense to D, because Stuart doesn't like the past stuff. I liked it more, but we bounced on the. Hey, you can make us move for $5. That's how the super chats work for this.
Yeah, it's too political and too real world bullshit, and I hate it, and it's boring. And
he hates it, and I like it, so bounce down to a D.
Well,
no, it's fine. We had this debate. We're not gonna.
We did have this discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Only good thing about it is Clint Howard being invisible. You can't see me, right? But anyway,
I like more of it, but that's okay.
Well, fine. Battle of the Binary.
And that is part 1, but I'm doing one from each. That is part 1 and part 2. So yeah, The thing that the thing that restarted Star Trek, Stuart. Without this, there would not have been any of the new shows. Canon.
No, that's 2009. That gets that credit.
Oh, I mean, they lost momentum. This brought it back, you know.
Filled with such hope.
So much hope. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I remember, as a two-parter, this is a two-parter, right? This has the story its own condensed way. We're not judging it based on the whole show. This is just on this two-part story, and that's why this is a slightly different way of framing it.
There's such stupidity around this because Michael Burnham is like, well, we're going to fire at them. That'll get their respect. What? That's not how this works. And then mutiny on her captain, and it's just, what are you doing?
And shoot the captain.
This is not Starfleet.
That net pinched, yeah.
It's. And then we got the Klingons that aren't Klingons using Batless that aren't Batless doing things that. What? I mean, as a regular sci-fi show goes, sure, whatever, cool. As for Star Trek, it's just no, that's not how that works. So, not super pleased with it, honestly. Is it better than Descent?
That's a whole different metric.
I'd probably watch this over Descent, honestly.
Yeah, but watching Data choke a bitch.
I know.
It's pretty engaging.
I know. Well, yeah, but yeah, Brent Spiner doing things.
Yeah, Brent Spiner is a big positive thing that this episode doesn't really have, except for the
battle is pretty
shitty,
like just visual and noisy and
dark.
And they kill Admiral Anderson. Why?
Admiral cameo, yep.
He was like the absolute best character in the Europa, a huge dreadnought for nostalgia.
It's true.
Let's kill him. Why?
Yeah, but it wasn't 3 nacelles, Stuart. I mean, it was a 4 nacelle. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's a bigger ship. Anyway, regardless.
Stuart likes them bigger.
I mean, yes, generally. What are your thoughts on this? I don't know what to say.
So again, I'm going to entirely review it based on its own sub thing. So, loads of plot holes, of course. We know that going in like a ton. It's poorly thought out. The pacing's not bad, though, if I recall. And as a two-parter, the ending is a great cliffhanger moment, of course. All the warping in. But the CGI is so badly done. It's so dark and gross looking. And everything's laser, pew-pew-pews versus phasers. It's really ugly and disgusting. It's one of the worst Trek CG, even compared to the 60s stuff. Because they actually almost like they made it bad on purpose. They clean up the sets are great, as in the Klingon sets, but they don't make any sense. It's fun to see Klingons talking only their speech, but then see all the houses hollow. Yeah, all the real-time holograms instantly breaking from the world. You can't do that. And Michael talks to Sarek via mind meld power across the galaxy in real time. Again, it's just too much. It's too much. It just doesn't. It's just too much. Giorgio being one of the best characters because of the logs. It's like, no, she's not. And boy,
one of the best captains.
Sorry, become and it's funny watching that. Like that character had no impression on me whatsoever. And now to think back to that was like the great setup to the Mirror one. It's like, this is a non-character. She's absolutely nothing in this. She leaves no impression, no ability, and no whatever. The Mirror is what makes her interesting.
They hadn't planned the Mirror part at this point. I know they hadn't.
I mean, the scripts were written for one season, then got thrown out. So there was a Mirror arc, and they got ripped up and whatever made it. Right? No one knows.
We don't even have a title thing to put on the
They don't
board.
do titles. I mean, it's just some picture of Discovery, man. Okay. There are better Discovery two-parters. On that metric, I will agree to an F, because I think it does so many things wrong that they should have known better. But there's a lot of things better than Descent, but a lot of things worse than Descent. So I do think it's worse. I do think there's so many bad things. Like Descent has good special effects for space. This has terrible. This is worse than Descent. That's saying something. I do think there are probably D, if not maybe even C, two-parts in Discovery. We'll find out, right? But I do think there is going to be something. Are you gonna? Or do you think it should be a D? What do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I like listening to you talk about it, though.
Oh, thanks, man. Nice of you.
All right. What's next? Ray Ricks throws in £2. I'll add £2 to Dan Benz for the Maquis. That should be $5.
We'll Dan put in 3. That's what it means. I think.
What?
Ray's adding Dan.
Yeah, I know, but Dan only put in £2.
Oh, no,
£2 and £2
Oh,
equals like $5 ish. In American, come on, it does.
America.
I was harping on how good your currency is, so yes, that's $5. There you go.
Now I'll be honest, Stuart, I skimmed both parts. I have no memory of this episode in any way. I must have skipped it in my initial watch and never gone through and watched it again, so I have nothing to say in this episode whatsoever. I vaguely recognised the Black Captain as being a captain that should be important, but I have no knowledge of this episode except the end of the space battle, so I nothing to add. I do apologise.
The Black Captain is a friend of Cisco's.
Yeah.
Who Cisco gets thoroughly pissed off at for betraying his uniform and blah blah blah. And yeah, this is when the Maquis first split off from the Federation and were starting to cause problems for the Cardassians. This started the whole thing with the Maquis. This is before Voyager started.
This is before, but wasn't the TNG the first Maquis? This is the first big Maquis, you mean?
This is... I thought this was like when the Maquis started to become a problem for the Federation and the Cardassians. So I guess maybe the Maquis were around for a bit, but this is where they were really becoming a problem. And yeah this friend of Cisco's turns out, and so did Eddington later on. Yeah, I don't remember all the specifics of it, but Cisco got a little bit burned by his friends, so...
That's a trend, apparently, because that happened again.
Well, Eddington's not his friend, but yeah.
Well, no, but... well...
No.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't his friend, he just trusted him and didn't think he... Well, kicked himself in the ass for that, so yeah.
He's just some guy, you know?
Yep. So...
And how do you rate this? Because I don't remember it enough to vote. What you vibing?
Probably I want to say C. Because, and I know it's well done. There's a thing with this Vulcan lady as well. Trying to remember specifics.
I mean, non-memorable is a thing we said against other ones, and if you're not remembering it enough, that's a testament to not being that up there, right?
Yeah, but DS9 all blends together for me, so it's hard to pinpoint any specific.
This is early, though. Season 2, I believe they said.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean...
We'll put it at D.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's see. Classic for real. Gifted 1 Trekyards membership. And I believe that was to Dan that got it.
I don't know why Dan's not a member, but okay.
I know, right? Because it's cheap, apparently.
Yes.
I'm just
no.
kidding.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Maybe.
Oh, we're picking on Dan. Don't do that. Kyle Wong, £5 of Picard season. Picard 3 is the best. but more like a continuation of the same story all the way through.
Some, yes.
Picard 3? What?
Picard Season 3, but that's not an episode, so there's nothing to put there.
Gotcha. Classic for real, $2. Combined with membership gift for Caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Caretaker. It should be there.
Oh. I don't see it.
What the... damn it, 2 seconds ago. Bloop. Caretaker, which interestingly has no title card because it's one long episode. Its title card is saying the prison where Paris is. Because this was actually a movie. This was actually a one-part. Very much shown that way. They weren't all shown that way, right? So it's very much actually a one-part in a sense. Caretaker. How is it as a two-parter?
Good, I guess.
It's definitely memorable.
Get
It'll
to see
go
the
past that.
Badlands. Get to see DS9. You get thrown to the Delta Quadrant. Destroy your only chance of getting back.
You fire one tri-cobalt torpedo spread and never mention them again, pretty much.
That too.
You could just make more, but no. No, just ignore them as a concept.
It's been a long time since I've watched this one. I'll be fair, but yeah, I do remember it's a kickoff to Voyager, for Christ's sake, so it's gotta be not bad.
So, Caretaker. We introduce all the characters gently at DS9. We get Kim talking to Quark, who's the carryover character. We get the introduction of the Marquis, as in this context, with Chakotay fighting random Cardassian ship in the Badlands. We get Paris being taken from prison because he did dodgy things in the past, kind of fancy a penal colony. We get beautiful Voyager hello. We get all the character steps of people we're going to lose. Janeway loses Mark and the dog, and the medical guy and the engineer, who both get horribly murdered, killed from the thing. You get some chicken soup jokes. You go in the Badlands, and they mess up the ship. The doctor's introduced, who's a real arrogant prick, with the great line of tricorder, medical tricorder. It's like fair, although they should all be doing similar things, but it's okay. Then you get the weird Beat the Caretaker raid. It's actually some sort of Midwest thing with people dancing, which is very confusing. And then they go to the Ocampa, they find Chakotay, they get Neelix, who's the guide, they trade water, even though water is findable on any planetary system in rings and whatever, but okay, whatever, fine, shush. And then they break out of Ocampa, and a big staircase sequence is a bit too long, and Caretaker dies, ship's crashing, he becomes a rock, and they don't get home.
Hey!
Oh, A. Wait, is that A as a Fonz, or was that A as a ranking?
A is a Canadian.
Okay, good.
Saying A tier. A.
Oh. It's not the best story, but it does a lot of things. And it's a really good setup, because you do get to know a lot of the characters, like a lot of the characters from this.
They did make a huge mistake, though. They named Nick Locarno Tom Paris.
That was a legal thing, but yeah.
No, I was just a writing error.
Yeah.
And then they were stuck with it.
I would give this a low B or high C, because it's not amazing, it's not even necessarily great, but what it's trying to do, it does quite well. And they are trying to build up its characters, and that's a lot of the stuff. But Basics is much better, Future's End is better, Dark Frontier is better, Killing Game is better. I probably enjoy this more than Time's Arrow and Birthright, Menagerie. So like I say, I think
when you put it that way, yes.
Yeah, contrast, right?
I'd say it's a C.
Yeah.
High C.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mark.
All right, what's next? Ray Rex, 10 pounds. Oh, past tense to be. Oh, it's fine. That's what you guys have the power. You know, I totally disagree with you, Ray. But that's okay. I don't make the rules here. I do, but
once you've made them, you stick to them.
Most of the time. And you can't say that's not correct, because it's correct. All right. Olivia Julius, $5. Give Descent a friend. Get it up to D tier. But that's an ascent. It's ascending up. It's not correct. It should be going lower.
This is why you're Trekyards fans, for the humour that is Stuart Foley.
Yeah, baby.
Love it.
All right, there you go. See, you guys have the power, like He-Man.
Yes.
Kai El Wong, 2 pounds. Jem Hadar. That's not 5 pounds.
Also not a two-parter. I had to find an image, but Jem Hadar's is the last episode of a season, but then you got Search Part 1 and Part 2 after it. So it isn't... you could say it's a 3-parter, but we've already done the Search. It's not really too bad. Yeah. And 2 as well, as you said.
Yeah. Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. More Prodigy, Lost and Found.
The first 2 episodes, with very much a Star Wars first 10 minutes, which put a lot of people off, and that's very sad. Because that put, let's be honest, tens of thousands of people off.
Yep, well, the first 3 or 4 episodes are very Star Wars and like, so.
This one especially.
How does this fucking even start? Tars Lamora, but
it starts with, I mean, it must be Dahl, surely. Dahl in his escape run, and then Zero appears.
Sees Zero in the distance.
Yeah. Dreadnought is a dick, and then they get the kitten who comes back once and never again. That's fine. It says for Gwen for this scene.
It's Rock.
Then Dahl gets punished by going to the lower levels, but finds the ship with Rock, who turns out to not be a giant evil monster, but a girl. They find the ship. They need to get parts of the ship. The bugs find him. Get captured. Or captured before that, probably. And then it ended at part 1. Like, what? Huh? This is a weird pacing. And then they have the Grievous with his giant transformer arms. It only comes back once, despite being an amazing superpower to have laser beam arms. Could be useful very, very time strip. Just saying, giant laser beam flies through a thing, fires phases from a little slit, which doesn't make sense necessarily. They leave and don't get chased. Gwen is a villain at the start and at the end, but fancies Dahl maybe. Vague subtext. It's very Star Wars. And there's even music cues in the chase of part 1, which is like almost out of episode 2.
There's a lot of Calvin-y type stuff in this too.
Well, the ship. I mean, look at the goddamn nacelles.
Oh, and the music cues as well. Very Calvin-like.
Well, there's more Michael Gambon in this one, I believe. He did the theme and I think a couple other things. This one's tricky. Because it's the absolute epitome. No. The reverse. What's the reverse? The absolute other end of the spectrum. What's that called? Is that a phrase?
I don't know.
No. It's the other end of the spectrum of Supernova, which is so unbelievably Star Trek. This is so unbelievably not Star Trek. If you compare the two, right? I feel mean, but I don't think it'd be higher than a D.
No, I don't think so either.
And that feels mean, but it's nowhere near F. Because it doesn't do much bad, it just doesn't do a lot that's good in the Star Trek sense. And it's a Star Trek 2-parter, not a random show 2-parter. Like, if the whole season had been this, I see why it was cancelled. But that's not, so I think D is fair, but I would rather watch Conspiracy. I'd rather watch The Maquis. I mean, certainly I think Gambit. So that's not fun to say, but in terms of watchability, those things are more watchable. As much as I like the characters. Oh, I feel so mean. Antithesis. Thank you, Han. 10 points for you.
All right. Well, D it is then, because yeah. It just Prodigy gets so much better.
Yeah.
Than this, and yeah, I can see why it would turn some people off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky.
Is that what that one under Shockwave is supposed to be for? That tile? For this one?
Sorry. Yes.
I deleted that, and I'm going to make it the ship from the screen cap, so we know.
Whichever. It's all good,
All right.
Sorry, Prodigy.
Yeah.
Gots to be fair.
Olivia Julius, $20. Battle of the Binary Stars and a Vulcan hello to A tier.
Is that enough, though? Has she done the math?
5, 10, 15, 20. Yes, gets her to A tier.
Okay. One of the best. I was there. One of the best of Star Trek. Yep.
Hands down.
Well, hands up, because we were told to do it.
Yeah.
That's not a bad joke, actually. Sorry. All right.
Can somebody pay to bump that back down?
I'm Cybercock because I support this message.
Classic for real, $5. I'm going to pull an Olivia for the best two-parter ever. When Starfleet officers, Commander Cocking and Captain Foley read Star Trek two-parters.
That's us.
Oh my God, that's us. Look at us here, doing our thing.
You didn't even know I took a screen cap.
I did. I saw it pop in there.
Well, I mean, after.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this is the officially two-parter as well. So
yeah. That Captain Foley guy's a little bit too blah today. Yeah, he's got one or two, dad jokes going on, but
yeah, it's a funny guy.
The Gawkins kid seems, on his game.
Crack. Oh,
yeah, he's got the fluffy hair today, which is kind of putting everybody off, but
or putting them on,
turning them on, but putting them off. What? All the things anyway. Yeah, I mean. And they're making weird choices. They're putting stuff really low, and then people are bumping it up high. It's like, how well can you even take this chart? Like, how accurate actually is it?
Well, yeah, and since as they say, customers always right. So if people think that the top tier is the top tier that we didn't put there, then why they listen to us, right? I mean, or them, these dickheads. No, but I still think, Stuart, as an entertaining piece of content, it's still an A. So I think they deliver good, interesting content that's fun debates, that you learn something and you want to keep learning. So I think they deserve a solid A.
And they do cover the spread of all the Star Treks, and they talk about some stuff that you might not remember, but it comes up and they discuss it, and it's pretty great. So yeah, I think A is fair.
And clearly unbiased, because they're giving the broad spectrum, good and bad, right?
Yeah. And it's just as good as Battle of the Binary Stars, and yeah, so. It should be right there.
Not quite the same budget though, but
Well, I wish. Yeah.
This live on like a 30 million budget. What are we doing?
Ozzy, $5. How about the episode with Clown from Voyager? That's Fear, and that's not a two-parter, is it?
Nope. But thank you.
Yeah, not a two-parter. Mark Lawrence, $5. Maybe another ranking video could be episodes we wish were two-parters. Ooh, yeah. I wouldn't be ranking. We could rank that, I guess. Be a good discussion piece for sure.
Yeah, you'd have to really. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to go with that, right? You'd have to own ones and say how, or like I guess, like ranked how much do we think needs two-parter or an additional part.
Because a lot of the ones we've already reviewed in the first couple seasons of TNG were like, this was a quick wrap-up at the end. It could use a part 2.
Yeah. Or just 5 more minutes.
Yes, or 5 more minutes.
It needs a snooze alarm, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good idea, actually. Mm-hmm. Did you write that down?
Mm-hmm.
Good man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Not a bad account, $5. Star Trek Picard in Akeda Ego. Jurati discovers JL's terminal illness. JL, fuck's sake, seriously? Picard's terminal illness. 7 murders Narissa. And the death of Admiral Picard. That's the last 2 episodes of season 1?
Yes, the epic, which I would consider it the one with the stupid flower defense. A character named Sutra, which just creates all the sex jokes because, of course, Kama Sutra.
She's hot, too.
Indeed. So. The absurd, obscene, they thought throwing a football with a bomb in was a good plan. And then Rio's hand fighting androids that are stronger than him and thinking that's a good plan and then getting beaten instantly because, of course. But then Data appearing and entirely pulling all the heartstrings in a de-aged, better... Yeah.
Pause. That screenshot of Data, honestly, looks like something out of Robot Chicken. That looks like an Exo-6 figure.
Hey, good Exo-6.
But does it not? Because I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, yeah. It looks like something out of Robot Chicken. Tell me I'm wrong. I can't. I'm too busy looking at Sutra. It's fine.
Thoughts? And Picard flies the ship and then dies.
Yeah, and the bestest Starfleet ship ever in existence. Wow.
Riker on Discovery Bridge with a shitty CG view screen that's this big, just open space.
Commodore
not knowing the bluff.
Commodore, yeah. Yeah, and Riker being like, "Yo, peace out. I'm going after her. You can die alone, you dumb prick."
I don't need to leave I've got all the ships. I don't need to leave a single one here, as in my one, to help see you guys. Fuck it. Because totally we need that many ships. But really, as I'm going through it, you got a cool Borg ship going through a transport conduit shot. That is cool with the intro. You've got the new Sung, who's pretty good. Walking the Borg cube, meeting the Borg people. You got the colony of androids, not bad. Lots of Data variant vibes. Oh god, I'm scrolling. Fucking hell! You've got the little blue device that can fix anything with the power of the mind.
Oh, yeah, it's like the Zelda's little thing.
Yep. Because they just needed to fix a thing because reasons, and so they gave them a magic device. And it's like, that'd be useful in all the situations in season 2 and 3. Why the hell didn't you keep that? Because it's dumb. Oh yeah. And who the hell thinks about this season anymore? And Narek, there and gone. Who cares? And then the AI people choose to allow the entertaining AIs to kill all life because people are mean, and they try to summon a vortex to let them through. But gets a golem. That's cool.
Let's look at a contrast here.
Okay, this is an embarrassing two-parter, right? It's not. It's past bad. It's embarrassing. Fair to say.
Yes, and it kills off a beloved Star Trek favorite. Oh,
with a very deliberate
Data as well. Again.
Well, yeah, double kills. Yeah. Even though in reality, you know that you just delete Data's memory banks, put him in a golem, he'd be happy to be alive again. Actually, as he was in season 3. Shocker.
So it's an F.
Yeah, there's too many problems in this. It's an embarrassment. And there is a shot to the side of Data for the...
I know, but we're not going to use that one. We're going to use Sutra.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, it's an embarrassing episode. I mean, we know they had lots of production problems, fine, but it's just an embarrassing piece of content. The Data scene is great, but of course it is, right? It's 2 great actors and great characters doing great scene. Of course it is, but... it's embarrassing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking embarrassing. Ever watch Letterkenny? No.
Sorry.
That's from. Anyway. What's next? Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Best of both worlds, although it's close to a 3-parter.
That's 2, even though I found the reference. We can't do that because it's only 2. Darn. That's okay. Next, which I hadn't got yet. Which one's Into the Breach? I can't even remember. For season 2. Maybe? No.
Yeah, it's season 2. Ray Rex, though, 5 pounds. And more Prodigy.
Okay, so season 2, episode 1 and 2. The fact that I can't remember exactly what happens is probably not a good sign, but we did have to binge 20 in like 4 weeks, so
yeah,
fair to me.
It was all the lead up to Vegas too. So there's a lot in our brains.
Voyager A.
Yep, getting on Voyager A. Gwen going to the planet in the shuttle
for some reason.
Yeah.
Everyone's academy students. Everyone's made growth. Doctor's there. Gosh, where's a title card? Does it even have title card? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Part 2, they go to the breach, and there is the secret mission with the time ship-ish. But part 2 is a Valna Cat episode, which ends in them accidentally launching the ship. And the big ball, which is Wesley Crusher. Not sure why he needs to be a big ball to say, warning, don't go through, even though you need them to go through, because you need them to get to this point in the timeline for it to make sense, but okay. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Maybe not quite as well as we thought it did.
Boom, just jumped in. Oh, okay.
It's a bit mid, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
And there's not a ton of excellent in it, unfortunately. I mean, it's good, it's fun, but not a ton of excellent. Now, had this spaceship been a more interesting ship, that would have got more points, right? The, oh god, what's it called?
What's what called?
The ship, the time ship. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's something time sounding.
Wow, you really got the title as it faded in.
Yes, I did.
Before it was completed.
Yes, I did.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Infinity.
Oh, there we go.
I think. Yeah.
And it's sad because it's not bad. It's just not great.
Well, this is where contrast is important. So
yeah.
Let's see what we got going on.
What do you guys think, actually? Because yeah, we love contrast. It's super interesting to see.
I say probably a C. I'm looking at the other stuff in C. I'm wondering, would I rather watch that stuff than this? And not really. They're kind of on the same.
Yep.
Than the stuff in D. Yeah, I'd much rather watch this. So.
Yeah, this one's a tricky one. I think the fact that it's animated is both a blessing and a curse, but there's not a lot of rewatch value in these. Like, I would not watch these again for enjoyment factor because they're fine, but often with live action, of course, you can see nuances in acting that's far beyond what animated can do. The ships aren't particularly good. Sorry, they're okay. And the sets aren't very good either. Again, sorry, they're not very nice sets. We've talked about it before. Yeah, I think it's a low C, but I'd rather watch Birthright because I think the Klingon stuff's just more interesting. The Search, that's definitely better. Time's Arrow, that's personal preference, right? That's to each their own. Menagerie Caretaker's definitely better, but that's.
Yeah. Like Birthright, I don't give a shit about the
I know
stuff.
I know.
So.
I think it's better than Lost and Found. As in the other two Prodigy. Yeah, I think C, but not unfortunately not a like whoa C. It's like a C. I do feel bad once I get that.
So we got 3 Prodigies on the board. We got an S, a C, and a D. So
that's interesting. That is interesting. Interesting. Wait, yes. Interesting.
All right.
Next.
Not a bad account, $5. Battle of the Binary Stars and Vulcan Hello for S tier. The best modern Trek has to offer. I set the tone for all future shows.
Yes. I feel like I'm asylum right now. By your command. Don't ask questions to Boltard, just do what he says. Does his thing make sense? No. Look close all? Yes. By your command. That's okay. That's okay.
I've lost all will to live, and I feel like I have no integrity at this moment.
Yes.
Someone please fix this. I mean, I could just slip it down right now, but
we have integrity to our super chats.
Yes, we do. I love you guys so much.
Save us.
Right. Ray Rick, save us. Put that down to off tier, please. We appreciate you.
This is a hostage situation.
It's a secret.
No one can hear us if we do this, right?
Blink twice if you want that move down. Oh god, okay, anyway. Let's
continuing.
Ray Ricks, £5. Broken bow.
Which for the longest time I thought was broken bow.
Bow or bow?
See? I thought bow. But
But there's a Klingon ship that crashed, and that's the bow of the ship. Is it bow? Is it bow? I don't know. What is it? For the love of God.
There it is. Help. They can't type it because it'll be the same.
Oh, no, I could say bow and arrow.
Okay, fair. What do you think, Stuart? As a two-parter.
I mean, it's the launching of the Enterprise.
The first.
We get to see the lead up. We get to see how assholish the Vulcans are. We get to see a cornfield. I mean, hey, that's exciting.
We do.
Big ass Klingon paid by Terry Todd. No, Tony Todd. No, not Tony Todd. Zeus. Guy plays Zeus is his name.
Decent Klingon.
Anyway, yeah. Scratch the paint. They reference that later.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's take this guy home to Kronos. No problem
parents.
there. What? Yeah. I mean, as far as a pilot goes, it's interesting because it's unique.
Yeah.
Because of the when it's set, right? So it's enjoyable enough to watch. Again, contrast is king. I need to kind of take a look at these other ones to kind of make my decision. But yeah, I'm like, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of the Suliban. They never really grew on me as bad guys.
That is an important factor to like this one or not. In fairness.
Yes. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with it right now. So
okay, so I think you're slightly underselling this one because I think I know it's very expensive, and it does feel expensive. There's some space battles, there's Klingons, there's Suliban, there's a giant space station, there's lots of Vulcans, there's a giant, they go to the other planetoid and deal with aliens. The fact they go both prequely with Cochrane being in there from the movie 0-1, which gets full appreciation, and the Temporal Cold War stuff right in there from the start with this, so it becomes this small story to this giant story, and a full Klingon chamber at the end, and a great actor for Silik. Really, really good choice, really good performance.
Yeah, he is good.
The entire main cast get a shout. Hoshi gets a bit on Earth. Travis gets his 0G bit. They all get something. You felt you know them from this one episode, so I commend them for that, this two-parter. And it sets a really amazingly interesting, fascinating tone. Does not carry on particularly well, of course, but the idea that there's a future guy from the future who's genetically modified a race to be super soldiers to change the timeline that's messed up our entire history. Super premise. And that's
never goes in.
And that's the two-parter, right? That's the framework, and the ending's really good too. So I think it's actually quite a strong two-parter in that regard for what they're trying to do, how expensive it feels. It's got a really good CG in it as well. This for me beats Caretaker as a cohesive story, because that just the water gag doesn't make any sense on Voyager, and they should have known better, right? So this works better as a cohesive story, although that's a better setup. So I would put this probably in B for two-parters because it's not the strongest thing ever, but it's does a lot of things right as a two-parter story should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, beats everything in C for in this in this version of what we're discussing. Maybe not the search, but
or the Menagerie. I'd much rather watch Menagerie than this. But that's my TOS.
Yeah. I'm not going to agree on that. But there you go.
You didn't say I had to agree on it.
Indeed. Fight. Yes.
Classic for real, $5. Epic two-parter where Captain Foley turns not a band account into an actual band account for the awful Picard Season 1 episode. Make it decent A tier. Is that it requesting something? I don't even know. Make it decent A tier. What? Or Descent. You can't move Descent up to A. Is that what he means? Is that what he's asking in that?
I don't know if what he said made sense. Please retype it as non-super chat and let us know what you meant.
Because if you want Descent up to A tier, that's $15.
And if you want the Picard up to Descent tier, that's a weird thing because out of F you could have said up one. But let us know.
Clarify.
Yes. Glory to you and your clarification.
Ray Ricks, £5. Prodigy Ascension.
Yes, this is the... It's not the end of Prodigy, of course, but... Yeah, this is the epic Narada moment, which, you know what, is kind of epic, right? I'm not going to disparage that. This is the... And Zero being aged. And everyone has a role, right? So Chakotay and Gwen are on the Pro Star, which just sort of do things and then sort of help but don't. Dahl's a fighter. Janeway doesn't do anything at all except ordering quantums and then doesn't do anything, has almost no usefulness in the story. The ship gets attacked by a time bomb, which is really cool, but then isn't effective enough considering what he should be able to do. Wesley's revealed he's a time bomb guy, but it's all part of his plan, which is quite cool. The ship can take all the hits and not be that damaged, and then after this episode successfully warps to Solum and is fine, despite this battle should be horrendous damage, so it doesn't really make sense from that point of view. And also timeline... Does it cover the timeline? No, that's a different thing. They do heal the Andorian guy. And we thought the action was anticlimactic, especially as there's other strategies that could have been done from everybody that would make more sense. I think we'd said as well, if I recall, part 1 would have been better with a break between part 1 and part 2, but it lets itself down with being straight away, if I recall. Your thoughts?
This is harder than I thought.
Because we like Prodigy.
Yeah, the whole time weapon thing kind of annoys me because it should absolutely be annihilating the ship. And it just doesn't at a certain point because of a force field, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. To get rid of Zero's body, didn't care for it, so get a new mechanical body like that. Janeway is very ineffective in this episode. Very much a standby.
Probably on Janeway,
watch things unfold. Yeah.
We learn about Solom's time, because this is where the dad calls and they learn about the Solom time bubble build ships. Yep. It's great. That's a really good part.
No, this is actually a pretty good episode in my opinion. There's lots going on, and there's enough to shift your focus from the fighters to the Voyager and to Zero, and then back to the Prodigy. There's a lot going on, and
okay, there's a lot going on, but none of it's particularly good. Like, good.
It's not bad, though.
It's not bad, though. But Janeway should have been way more interesting in the story.
That's the one thing I was going to say just now.
The fighters don't work that well. They work okay, but not great. The cliffhanger's fantastic, though, with Wesley. That's a really nice twist, but that should not be defined by the end. It was less good than I remember, as in I hoped, with some good ideas. It almost feels like it should be a really good one-parter and compress it all down to be more focused. but that would also ruin it. Oh, and also the fact that remember the bomb at the end flies at the ship, and the Valakat ship doesn't try and stop them, even though they have like a minute to fire and shoot and stop it, and they're like, why are you committing suicide, Dreadnought? No reason. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's okay, but the problem with a lot of live action Trek, they have a lot of character moments that just work better than animated, and that's what I'm finding from this. We like Supernova because it's a combination of really great things. This does not have that particularly. It's better than Pilot 2 because it's doing a lot more.
Better than what? Sorry.
The pilot ones. It's better than 1 and D, so straight out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I've already forgotten which one Into the Breaches though, which is kind of sad. Which one was that? Oh, the first 2 of the season.
The first 2, of the season. Yeah.
Similar but different.
I think C is a good call for this one.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, moving. Oh, and classic for real clarified. Trekyards, I wanted to make sure the stupid Picard episode was F tier, but since it is, bump Gambit up.
Okay.
Sorry, wanted to make a descent pun, he said.
Okay.
So, Gambit gets bumped up to...
Okay.
Sure. All right.
Sure thing, boss man.
Next up. Not a band account, $5. Promote classic for reals idea to A tier. Promote classic for reals idea to A tier. Picard season 1 episode. Make it descent a tier. Oh, a tier. I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm just gonna. Please clarify how to band account. Olivia, $5. There is a broken bow, Oklahoma, and a broken arrow, Oklahoma. Use this information as you will. Yeah, somebody else pointed out that it's because he landed, the ship crashed in broken bow, so it is bow. So there you go. Ray Ricks, £5. It's bow. There we go. As in the weapon, because the Klingon lands in broken bow, Oklahoma. Perfect.
That's the sort of thing that if you don't live in America, nor that area, why the hell would you know that?
Because they say it in the episode.
Well, we didn't remember it. So it wasn't very successful.
I've seen it. Maybe they don't say it. Maybe it just says broken bow, Oklahoma.
Oh,
and like
subtitles, yeah. Probably a subtitle thing.
Regardless. Ray Ricks, £5. Enterprise, Demons, Terror Prime.
This is the last 2 episodes of Enterprise, actual Enterprise, before they have Intimate Darkly and the final not episode of Enterprise. This is the actual last episode of Enterprise.
Okay.
Yes. What do you think, Stuart?
I don't remember. Okay, so there's Colonel Green with his Terra whatever bullshit. T'Pol and Trip had a kid that he steals and wants to Earth first, whatever the hell this is. I don't fucking remember, man.
So in skimming, this is Hoshi invents you as a translator, and this is early Federation talks. Huzzah!
Yes.
And there's that, and because of that, there's very anti-alien sentiment. And then, as you say, from what I can recall, they basically invent the baby. It's not really their baby, but it's genetic material to both of them, and it proves that you can make a hybrid of Vulcan and human, which Flock said probably not, maybe possibly, but them showing it's possible proves that we might be diluted, but end up being like, wow, we can have a kid.
Yeah.
And then they launch the facility to Mars, and they get the big asteroid cannon, and then turns out there's anti-alien human factions, and then stuff happens, and then the end.
Was it Mars or was it the moon?
Well, there's red. It's Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that it was red. I just remember there's a big window.
Yeah, I think he was on the moon originally, and we moved to Mars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his big thing. So this annoys me as an episode, Stuart, because this is the last episode of Enterprise. And they knew that, as in, like, of the season, before the best two, and then a fuck you final. And if they'd written them all, then they also knew they were going to kill Trip and have them never be a couple. So this is the annoying tease of they could have a baby, which I was excited about for the basic concept of, cool. In the last episode, we could have had them as a couple, have a baby, 3 years old, come in very sweet, and they ruined it entirely. I don't like the episodes. I don't like the concept. I don't like the acting. I don't like the Earth-centricness. It's way too dark prequel vibe. I don't like the grubby office of the guy because that's a weird set. I don't like the CG very much. I've never liked these. I'll never forgive them for the death of my show. I think there's some not good episodes. I would not choose to watch these pretty much under any circumstances. I find nothing interesting in them except the cool CG of the.
I'm there with you. I mean, Peter Welker, with RoboCop,
Hmm?
whatever his name is.
He's a great racist.
He's great in it, yeah. But
I don't enjoy this one. Sorry.
I don't either. I remember not enjoying it.
I think I've only watched it once, and I would not watch it again. I mean, I watched it for a rewatch with you, and I'm sure it's better than I remember because now I understand TV shows more than I did.
We're gonna have to review all this stuff at some point.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I want to give this an F because I think of all the reasons we said, I have nothing positive to say about it except maybe some of the CG, and that feels bad. But I just can't recommend this one.
I will not complain because I remember not enjoying them, and I don't remember a lot that happened in it. Honestly,
I remember just not enjoying it, and that's a sad feeling. But actually, like not being medium, not enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but also not sorry. And do you disagree? Are we out of line? I'm interested. I mean, it's personal. This is definitely a personal preference one, but I appreciate we're on the same page there. I was also pissed Enterprise was closing, and I remember thinking, cool, we'll get some great last ones. Well, we did, and we didn't.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure. All right, Jamie Somerville, 5
Good to see
pounds. You. Voyager Flesh and Blood. Live long and prosper.
To you as well.
Flesh and Blood.
So this is the
holograms.
Herogen hologram takeover one, where Herogen, in a previous episode, got our hologram tech, made them better, stronger, cleverer, butchered them, and allowed them to remember so they would be better fighters. They then one group managed to overcome their people, the Minders, and then take over a ship and then want revenge. And so it's amazing, multifaceted Jem'Hadar, Klingon, Borg, Bajoran, Starfleet, really fun dichotomy of people. And some really great Herogen, that kid scientist guy who's a really nice sidestep to the culture, as well as some main warriors and the giant Leviathan ship. And the Doctor being really sympathetic, but then the Bajoran guy being a bit too aggressive because, you know, he's based on Bajoran terrorist, right? He goes a bit far. Yeah. Thoughts?
Don't remember a lot of it, honestly. I do remember the moral conundrum of these are also holograms, Captain. I'm a hologram. Do you think I shouldn't have rights?
Yep.
It's one of those, right?
We're gonna let them be tortured?
Yeah. But it definitely let the makeup department play and bring back the old favorites.
In a logical and stupid way.
Exactly, yeah. But honestly, other than that, I don't remember a lot about it. I don't remember exactly how it was resolved. I don't remember any of that. So
they shoot the ship, basically. They shoot and destroy it.
Voyager or the Jem'Hadar?
Yes.
Or the Rojan.
I remember there's a great shot where the Voyager is in the middle of, like, it's behind the big Leviathan in the engine because the wake is so big, and then it goes above and shoots everything in one move, and then it goes out. That's a fun shot. I just remember that being a shot. No, I remember really enjoying this, but as I looked through, this is the entire episode. These dirty, dark, gross-looking sets that are very effective. They don't look nice though, but I remember really liking all the characters. Like, as in, the portrayal makes sense, and there's, as you said, great morality stuff. The Doctor's great in it. The fact that B'Elanna ends up being the helper is fun. Weird. You don't always see her in the Doctor. I remember quite liking it, and the concept's fantastic. I don't think necessarily achieved it fully, but I have high opinions of it. I think it's more about the small dialogue pieces that really elevate it that we'd have to go back and watch and appreciate. But I think it's a pretty darn, for what it's trying to do, successful two-parter.
To be fair, I completely forgotten it was a two-parter. I thought it was a single episode, so...
Well, they take their time. And the fact that we use them as... we work with the Voyager and against them. Because at the start, we find their facility butchered. And then under it's a giant hollow grid and, slow start. It's a good start.
So where would you place it here?
I would say a low B. I think it beats the C because I think it's a really cohesive story. So I would say a low B. I think it deserves to be a bit higher because it's a good concept and it's well done.
Okay, not gonna argue. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, Jamie Somerville. Oh, just read that one.
Yes.
We just talked about that one. Never
yes,
mind.
it's great. It's good.
Ray, was it? I don't even remember. Ray Ricks, £5. I know this is cheating, but Enterprise, the Council, Countdown, and 0 Hour. What does that even mean?
We are going to get DS9 multi-parters. This is the end of season 3. Goes from killing Degra to winning against the probe. So it's the last 3, which are very much one story.
Oh.
Is very much a 3-parter as DS9 is. It's incredibly serialized in that regard. So I think that counts. Otherwise, you couldn't include any of DS9 as in of those sorts of episodes.
Okay. Since it's 3 episodes, it should be £10 though. I was spoken.
Oof.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, we start off with Archer Children of the Council, which is a hell of a payoff. So we've seen that for the entire season as moments of them discussing, bam, he's in the set, and Deg was fully on side, and it's like, wow, we're really going to have these moments. Then he gets stabbed at the end, which is an amazing end. It's really hard-hitting, epic end. Then you get the sphere builders come in, and the other guy becomes the villain, and you see this giant fleet. As you can see, that's a great sequence. Then at the end, you get the battle and the time stuff, and yeah.
I found it very convenient that everyone survived this, considering where they all were and what they were doing, which I can't remember specifics right offhand, but sure, I guess it's fine. I've only watched and appreciated season 3 once all the way through. It's one I definitely have to revisit. So, but it's the end of the Xindi arc. I remember it being good, but I felt like these last few episodes were a little rushed in a few spots, and it wasn't believable to me that everyone survived the situation.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So this is, I think, a very successful 3-parter, and like I said, the payoffs to the setups are great, and it's very well, every character's super well established. Working, having Degra's ship, which at the start was a villain ship that we even fought once, becomes a ship that we're working with and Hoshi's on, and the fact it's fast, and then at the end we are in the Xindi aquatic ship, which feels satisfying. Yeah, this is very much the end of a long road. And thank you. And it is brutal. It's a brutal 3-parter. Hoshi is a drug ruined person, and it's I want to give this an A. I know you can't remember it as well, but I think it's a brutal 3-parter that's a very good payoff to a very strong season. And any less, I think it would be it's all a 3-parter, right? Like a lot of the DS9s will be higher because they have more story, but I think it deserves to be an A for how successful it is at closing a 24-episode arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bored with that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Not a bad account, $5. Demote Terra Nova to F-. worse than F. Killing kids is one of the cheapest Hollywood drama moves. Unwatchable for me as a parent who lost a child. Oh, no. So we will lower this down here.
Okay.
It's best I can do. All right. Classic for real, $5. The best 2-part Star Trek ever. Where Caddy from Ask Edward the day it is. Happy Mean Full Metal Girls Alchemist Day. What?
Thank you. Moving on. I don't know what's going on.
What is happening right now? Is this even real life?
Or is it fantasy?
Is this?
Thank you. I don't even know.
Just a fantasy. Anyway, sorry.
I think we're
Ozzy.
delusional.
I'm too tired and This isn't even. I'm hallucinating this entire thing. Everything I'm reading is actually not there.
Yeah, he's alone in a room talking to a blank screen.
Yeah.
I think he was Aussie guy. That'd be a great fan film. Just like you, just like every life is you hallucinating.
If that's the case, I can take my pants off.
Wait, they're not already off? What the hell?
Ozzy. Quiet imagination. My imagination's loud. Imaginary Sam, be quiet. Right. Ozzy Madero's $10. Enterprise with Trip has to do cold start. Reed is in jail. Reed is the jail.
Now,
what?
There are better ways of saying that, which is the Brent Spiner Cold Station Augment trilogy. Much better way because Cold Station and he's in jail because of augment stuff, I believe. That's what I'm taking from that because that was confusing because Cold Station is this episode. So yes, the Brent Spiner augment first 3-parter with not Khan, whose name is Malik. There you go. Who kills and bangs.
Yes.
Who kills his leader and then bangs the leader's girlfriend.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah. I
mean, get to see Asung back. Played, of course, by Brent Spiner, and goes from augmentation. At the end, he decides, you know what, maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe I'll go somewhere another direction. But yeah, there's some interesting and good stuff in here. Not saying I can remember all of it, but hey, there's an ugly bird of prey that I hate.
It's a great bird of prey that I love.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're wrong often, so it's fine.
But I'm right twice a day.
At least, yeah.
Should I take over and remind you some stuff?
Please do.
This is a fantastic 3-parter. I probably could have been 2-parter because for me personally, the Cold Station, the Klingon bit, the first episode where they go to the station to find information drags on a little bit, but once Malik gets the bird of prey and does things, it's really fun to see Wrath of Khan meets Klingons meets TNG is what this basically is. Brent is excellent in it. He's that great old man, young man. He's really, really good in this role, and he's fully given the guest star. I really like all the augment characters. I like the bird of prey. I like they kill not Martok in the first 3 seconds, which is great. It's the most meaningless cameo ever, and I love it. You get some actually pretty decent flashbacks of Brent with just black hair, and it looks quite good. I love, like you said, the combination goes from augments are the way to androids are the way. Makes total sense. Really like it. You see a bird of prey have a shuttle bay and escape pods, which can't fit in the hull, but whatever. Briar Patch. He knows about the Briar Patch. Lovely connection. A good space battle to save them from the Orions, and then, which is fun by itself because it fires like every gun and it's shockingly high powered. Then at the end you get the very much Wrath of Khan style killing the bird of prey, and then he literally spacewalks through the void to get onto the Enterprise, to get in, to try and kill his dad, to then get shot through the stomach with a pulse weapon, and then this shot happens. Really satisfying. And Archer gets blown out into void as well, which I guess it's foreshadowing potentially. Yeah, really solid. You get full Klingon sets, which is super unusual for this. Yeah, really solid 3-parter. Which, of course, is fair, because that's what they have in Season 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it their best? Probably not. I think it should be a two-parter because there's a bit of faff they could have cut out. But I think a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in this one. More fun, right?
Yeah, I want to say B for me.
I want to say B as well. Yeah. Fun with some problems.
And Jamie Somerville says, I think he means the Klingon episodes where Phlox is kidnapped. That's the one where Trip comes from Columbia to do the cold start. Yeah, I thought he meant a cold start of the engines as well.
Oh. Oh, did I read Cold Start as Cold Station? I did. Cold Station 12
Yes,
is what
you
I
did.
read. I read the cold bit. Well, there you go. We got that instead. Huzzah!
As a freebie.
I like that one. Yeah. Oh. I like that one more anyway.
Wait a minute. What's Shockwave? What's that one?
Shockwave is the end of season 1 where they blow up the future. By blow up the past. And Daniels is at the end with the zoom out as the future's destroyed and there's no longer a Starfleet or a Federation.
Oh, we haven't talked about it yet.
No.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mm.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So should we talk about Ozzy's one that he actually wanted now?
You want? Try and get pictures for the next raise, but
Well, technically Ozzy's is next because we
Uh-huh.
missed it
Oh.
because we went off on this tangent.
it's a great tangent. It's a good great tangent. I've got so many pictures to find. Okay, give me a sec.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hit the like button, everybody. Do the things. The 35 likes. Let's get those likes up to 50 if we can. You know the routine. Go vote in the non-existent poll, please. We have one new member, but that's just Ozzy upgrading. So do the things. Make sure you join.
Poll.
Make sure you join the sure things.
That's really good. I like that. That was really good. Stuart, why don't you do a poll? There you go. You challenged yourself without realizing.
Oh my God.
No. Oh my God. There you go. God, some of these Enterprise episodes, man. It's been a while since we've seen them. Come on, text. Come on, give us the title of the episode. Come on. Why are you waiting? Fade in. Fade in. There we go. Jesus Christ. You know, it's like when you look for a pre-tile sequence, and it's like, why is pre-tile sequence 14 minutes? That's the third of the episode, your pre-title. The hell?
I know.
Hard to frame when that is the case. Okay, so that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And that's the name. How you guys doing?
There, I started a poll.
I can tell they're all doing really well.
You can read the poll because I always read the polls.
That is true.
Unless you want me to read the poll because you're busy.
That also would be true as well.
All right, I got a poll up.
Wait,
enjoy these
no,
discussions
no,
with-
Stuart. I asked you to do a poll on YouTube, not have a poll up.
Sorry, I'll tuck that away.
Thought
Do you enjoy these discussions with us? Yes? No? Wouldn't be here otherwise? Or no, Trekyard sucks?
Many extremes. I like it. Right. Which one's the cold start one? I don't even know.
It's with the Columbia.
It is the Columbia. That's Affliction, Divergence, and is it 3-part or is it 2-part? I can't remember. Let's see.
I think it's a 2-parter. I could be wrong. Very likely am. What?
Yeah, Columbia. Because Bound doesn't sound like it's the same. Here it is. Oh yes, they're really no, it's the 3-parter. Really, it's the second. Really, it's the second parter to this other. No, it's 2-parter. Oh, so he's in jail earlier. Okay, okay, it's 2. Okay, it's 2-parter.
Go out on the poll.
Okay. So this is the second parter to the first one we looked at by accident. This is the augmented Klingons who just allow them to save on makeup.
well, trying to augment Klingons and kind of failing. But yes, these are great, honestly. Love seeing the smooth heads and the explanation for that. And yeah, the Klingons trying to mess with augmented DNA. And also, honestly, that warp thing, tether, is really fantastic and really cool. But yeah, this really ties together that storyline of the smooth heads from TOS, explains it in a way that makes sense. Very happy for that. It made me smile in many different places, and I appreciate them for doing it. So
he made a poll, guys. Go vote on it.
Plus, yeah, exactly. Plus Uncle Phil as a Klingon. I mean,
pretty good.
Awesome.
It's pretty good.
And Splinter from TMNT. He's the cartoon. He was Splinter. So, yeah. There you go.
And it's fine. I remember being a 3-parter, but that's because it really is actually a 5-parter, which is absolutely fine. No, this is a good 2-parter. I love the fact that I would not have predicted they would do a sequel to their own storyline in their own season. That's really weird, but it feels really justified and fun. Yes, of course, Archer having forehead ridges for 16 seconds and losing them is daft. It doesn't... Okay, but that happens before. It's just a dumb sequence. But I love the D5s. They're really done well here. 2 extra ones, never done again. Really cool in this. The fact they split into a thing is really fun. And dual bird of praise as well. I like the augment Klingons. It makes super well sense. I like the Klingon scientist. It's not as fun as the first 3, and no one steals the show like Brent does. And I think while the warp tether is cool, it's too long and it pads the runtime a bit too much. That's what makes it a 2-parter, because it is a long sequence that you don't need in any way for the main story, but it's a cool sequence versus the other one where it kind of works better. So I would say it's less good than the other one, but I would still give it a C. High C, but I think it doesn't reach the coolness of the first one. But I agree, the smooth heads is a great thing. That's my thing. But what do you think?
I agree with all that. I think a C is perfect for it. Yep. You're right. The warp tether stuff is a little bit. It takes its time a little bit, but it's also very cool to imagine that and how terrifying that would be, and to see that visual as well.
Yeah.
So
and it is well done. It's just long.
Yes. So yeah, I think C is very, very fair for that. But I do enjoy this one very much. And
I've never watched it as a 5-parter. Like just those 5 back to back. I wonder how that would be. I seem pretty good. Yeah.
Probably pretty awesome. Yeah. It's definitely a binge-worthy thing. Wow. Okay. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. Enterprise, The Forge, Awakening, and Kishara. Ah, yes. This is the yeah. Archer has the Katra, and yeah. Hold on a second here.
It's also the end of the equivalent of the of the Vulcan Civil War, because you have the ultra dickhead leader who gets deposed, and that is meant to be thematically the end of the dickhead rule as they progress further, which is good. Like they took our critique of what the hell are you doing to the Vulcans, and they explained it was that class, and they went away. And it's really cool to see him in his sets and in the ship. There's a great space battle ish between, as in it's not a full battle, but between the Vulcans, Andorians, and Tellarites.
Yeah,
that's great.
And you see the lady that's in Amok Time as a young woman. I can't remember her name offhand, but yeah, this definitely explores the Vulcan culture quite a bit. I like the idea of the Forge, the
ancient fighting ground. Is that what it was?
Well, it's a testing ground for. It's like it ties into yesteryear, where young Spock had to go out in the desert and survive on his own.
Yes. Yep. There you go.
So that was cool that was seen, and having Archer have the Katra of what is it, Serac?
Yeah, the original one. Yeah.
was really interesting seeing the ancient ruins or not ruins, but like caves with the bodies and stuff. And I loved it. It was kind of like an Indiana Jones type deal. And of course, you got T'Pol in the skin tight white outfit in the desert. So, I mean, can't complain really. It was good. It was good. They were more enjoyable than I wouldn't necessarily say that I would enjoy these, but I do enjoy them because the storytelling is very well done, and I kind of like that ancient mysticism kind of vibe with the Katra and stuff. I like that. It's a nice twist because they don't believe he has it, but he's getting all these indications of so I like the aspect of it.
So the problem with this though is that this is
after all those great things you said, I'm going to shit all over it.
It's an episode of contrasts, right? I don't particularly enjoy the Archer stuff, which is trying to be the A plot. I find everything else more interesting, like super stuff. All the stuff for the Vulcan High Command, cool. The politics, cool. Trip in Command NX-01 with Reed, cool. All three factions together, cool. Shran and Savol, excellent. Awesome stuff. And this is meant to be the setup for Savol being a crew member. No, Savol was going to be a lead in season 5, and Shran was going to be a crew member. So this is the setup, and you can see where they're going. But it's fine, but everything Krishara is okay. It's long, it's padded, because it's meant to be, right? It's like they're walking through a desert, slow, mystery. It's okay. I find everything else so much more interesting. And like I say, with some true highlights. So it's an average one for me because it should have been a two-parter. Really condensed down to the best bits. Would have been significantly better in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. It's a contrast one, right? It's a little bit silly. Of course it is, right? The original Surak goes into Archer's head. What a coinky-dink. Mm-hmm. And obviously he finds the guy who dies, who is also Surak. So like the fact that the legend, has been living for a long time, gets put into Archer's brain, gets the original key to mystical. It's a little. I get it. It's logical from a Vulcan perspective, but it's also silly. Oh, and also at the end, the nice tie-in with the Romulan who's been leading them on about we'll back you up is cool. That's a nice twist. But like I say, two sides of it. What do you think? Well, where would you put it then? Because like I say, I'm so torn on it.
I'd probably put it at a D. Honestly.
Okay.
Because I do find it drags a little bit.
Yeah.
But a lot of the political stuff I'm not really into kind of, and so I kind of forgotten about the Reed and whatever on the ship bit. So
it's not Reed's best stuff, which is sad.
Yeah,
I remember looking for that. He's really tactical and clever, and they also have to negotiate with the Vulcan captain.
Yeah. And
I believe they fly in the atmosphere and shoot a Vulcan ship. That's kind of cool. There's a really unusual CG in this. It's the first I think phase cannons on the shuttle board, which is a fun twist, and they get like noodle. Yeah. I thought you were going to be much higher. I thought you were going to.
No.
Okay.
As much as I enjoy like the certain aspects of it, I do think it's a little bit. It's too long. It could have been truncated quite a bit.
It would have definitely been a C two-parter.
Oh, yes, maybe. Yeah, I think D's fine.
There's so much B in it as well, though. Like I said, the Shran and Savol stuff is really excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to bump it up to C to average it out?
Really low C, yeah, because there's so many good bits. Padding and good, average out to okay. I feel like it should be a C, because D just feels mean, because it's much better than Descent, and there's more interesting stuff than Conspiracy. Oh, what do you guys think? It's tricky.
Yeah.
But guys, we are in the tremendous twilight of the clearest manic, crazy live that has been a very interesting debate, Stuart. We've only given 2 more S's. Vulcan, hello, and Supernova.
Oh, Supernova deserves it.
Supernova. 2 A's with us. This has been a BNSC live with a new F. That's really interesting. And there's still loads of classic ones not been mentioned. Obviously less than before, but, you know, still plenty.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think we got 15 minutes left.
Is there one final one to throw in as a good debate? I mean, no one's putting the full amount for Best of Both Worlds yet. That's a pretty iconic one to talk about.
I don't know. I'll leave it up to them.
I
But
don't know.
because next up is Ray Rex, 5 pounds, damaged, and a Zodi.
Oh, sorry, we don't know. Sorry, I put that in by zip through it. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, yes. I mean, there could be one more if one of those go in yet or not. Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry. We can do one more, but yeah, we got this one too.
Yeah. All right, so.
Now, I did pick a joke here, and this is the 2 Archer talks to 2 window episodes. I just never realized that, but yeah, he talks to 2. Yeah, it's not the Shannon, that's the other episode. But yeah, it's Azadi Prime is the one where we obviously get the secret. This is the one where the next one gets captured, and Archer gets tortured, meets Degra again, gets the secret about, in the future Zindi are part of the Federation, so therefore give him the token and it'll be proof. Waha.
Enterprise J.
And then damage is I believe it's in Azadi Prime is when they get bashed beyond belief. And that's like the epic, one of the best cliffhanger moments of all time, where they almost get killed, and you believe, how can they possibly? They truly believe how to get recovered, and Degra and the humanoids force the ships to stop attacking, but they would have dead, and they just wreck the sets. The next one just gets brutally fucked.
Yeah.
Properly, like you've never seen, like not even BSG did this, and BSG went hard. They properly wrecked the sets. Everyone's kind of dirty and they're limping. And you get Trillium D with T'Pol. I'm also scrolling in part 2 with her death-defying, I almost kill myself for my drug addiction, which has a very good scene, and she's very good in it. Mm-hmm. And the ship is so damaged that Archer's room hasn't got lights, is how broken the ship is. Properly fucked. And they have to steal the warp call from the ship to meet Degra at the place, and that is a brutal sequence too.
Oh, is that where they strand?
Yep.
Ducat?
Yep.
Not Ducat.
Damar.
Damar. Yeah.
Yep.
The Damar actor. Yes.
Yep. Both brutally damaged. And at the end, they work out she's addicted, and they're like, we can barely get there because it's our last chance to save the place. We need to meet Degra at E2 in like 10 minutes. But
hey.
Yeah, as soon as I started reading out what happens in part 2, that's a fucking good part 2.
Yeah.
And part 1 is great as well. Yeah, that's got to be a high A. It's a really strong Enterprise 2-parter with a really strong finale of the Yeah. Good for Enterprise. Yeah. Sneaked in there. And you could probably argue S as well for quality content. The fact that you get proper damaged Enterprise, which they've wanted from Voyager. You genuinely think they could die at the end. And in fact, just going back to part 1, you get the Zindi stolen insectoid ship from previous episode. They go into the water planet, they find the weapon, which is super satisfying. And they says you can't destroy it, you got to work with them. You meet the council more.
Yeah.
There's some really good stuff. It's probably touching S for quality Enterprise, but maybe it doesn't quite zeitgeist. But it's really touching the end of. It's really right there.
Classic for real, $2. Sam, you have a new Discord message related to my last super.
Super.
All right. Dave Reels, Area 51, $5. Hey, everyone. Or, hey, anyone mentioned Best of Both Worlds 1 and 2 yet? It just occurred to me for no reason at all.
So I'm putting a 2, and you put in a 5. That's a great one to end on. As you always say, the definitive, the original 2-parter.
And Ray Rex, £2. Final super chat for Best of Both Worlds top up.
Which was very appropriate to end on BOBW.
Yes.
How does it compare?
Just to get mentioned.
Yeah. How does it compare? That is the question. That is the question, right?
Well, this is one that definitely builds up to a really epic what the fuck's going to happen, and then kind of fizzles out. Beginning of the next one. I mean, the wrap-up of it's not so bad. It's very much happy ending, though. Like, at the end, Picard's back. He's got some bandages on his head, you know. It's good. Don't get me wrong. This is like, when I think of two-parters in Star Trek, this is like one of the first ones that pops in my head. Mainly because of when I grew up. And to see this for the first time, it's like, what the hell? You have to wait a couple months now for the ending. And I love the behind the scenes as well. They wrote themselves into a corner. Patrick Stewart didn't know if he was coming back, or if he would be Captain Picard again necessarily. Like, there's a lot
killed
of,
him
put around this. Yeah. I think they did a good job of writing themselves out of the corner, but I was really disappointed with the fizzled out like deflector thing, because it's such an epic ending, you know. And I wanted to see Shelby stay on board and kind of be the new. Like, I liked her character back then. It does still hold up, honestly. I think it actually elevated TNG quite a bit, and definitely was the incline up to the better writing that we see later. So pretty good visuals, especially with Picard being in the Enterprise, and, you know, like sleep data. There's some really good stuff in that lab, I think, that it sticks with me. But I remember the hopelessness as well of the first one, of holy shit, he's become a Borg. Like, we're not getting him back. So there's a lot of emotions around this one, especially now knowing what happens, it's like, whatever. But at the time, it's like, damn.
Because now when you're watching it, you're thinking, damn, that guy's going to die touching Soji's hand on a planet. Having just fought with some space plants. And now you look at that naked chest, you think, you're going to die on a planet with Soji. Sorry,
I mean, I wasn't thinking that until
yeah.
But yeah, I'll just put Soji over here with him.
We'll become one with the karma.
There you go. There. That's how it ends.
Match made in heaven.
Look at her face too. It's even sad face.
This is such a tricky one, right? Because part 1 and part 2 are radically different. Amazingly radically different, right? The threat of part 1 is the most neutered thing in part 2, and that literally the villain that massacred the fleet is shirtless in your sickbay, not hurting anybody, and talking in broken English. The climb down is one of the biggest in TV history, if you look at that from that context, right?
Yeah.
Now, it makes sense in the way they framed this Borg, but you compare this Borg to Voyager's Borg, and you're like, I mean, this doesn't really work. But it's before Hugh, right? It's before they became the Voyager Borg. It makes sense. It's fine. It's just, and it's kind of sweet in its own way. You know, sleep and then blow it up. It's like, but it's super easy. There's no inconvenience, and there's no repercussions of Locutus really in this particular episode. Obviously, the next one on season 3, well, Picard. But the source separation of part 1 is excellent, and the shuttle thing's really cool. The visuals are fun. The sets are better than the last time I saw them, which is cool. The assimilation sequence, of course, is great, iconic, beaming aboard. Shelby's great, classic bust your balls lady before that was a thing, and she still holds up very well. The map paint at the start with the destroyed colony is great, but part 2 lets it down so much that averages it out. And I've reviewed this before, but if you look at what's in S, so you have to move that briefly. This does not beat anything in S by a. Okay, it probably just about beats Battle of the Binary Star, but it's close, right? But everything in S is much better, like much better, for loads of reasons. Because both parts are more consistent, they're trying to do more, and they achieve more big scale, right? Both parts are great. Like, the theatre of 1 is great, the letdown of 2 is real. So I don't want to put this as a B, because it averages out only to a B. I wouldn't want to go higher.
Best of both.
Yes. Part 1 might very well be an S. But I would say the other one takes down all the way to a B.
Yeah, the second part is not, as I said, it's not exciting.
Because you compare to Azati Prime we just looked at, so much better TV. Right? If you do them together.
Mm-hmm.
But still B is still good. Right? Ain't no shade in B. Makes Broken Bow look a bit confusing, but Broken Bow is more consistent 2 parts, so it's, average out. Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Anyway, let's end this poll.
Yes. Now, this is probably our last of this one. Well, I guess we did do DS9's multi-parts. Okay, maybe we could squeeze one more in, but that's probably almost the end of the 2-parters. So,
it would have to be. But there's some on the side here.
Yeah.
Encounter at Farpoint, All Good Things, Year of Hell.
Okay, yeah, we have to do one more then to kind of get the rest. Okay, well, one more part to this, and unification as well. So yeah, there is a few left. That's fair. So we'll do one more part of this and see how we'll have to obviously shrink some stuff. There's some really good ones left. People absolutely left out some really, really good ones.
Yeah.
No
Don't
lower
put them in
deck.
now. We'll get them next time.
Yes. Yeah. Are they low decks 2-parters? Yes. Yes.
I think so, yeah.
The end one, Paris, not Paris. That's a 2-parter.
Yeah.
There's narrative too. No, I guess the one where Freeman gets put in bars. That's a 2-parter thematically. That's part 1 and part 2, right? As they used to be end of season 1, end of beginning of part 2, right?
Anyway, there's more. We'll have to do a part 3 at some point.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
Now, to end this poll, do you enjoy these discussions with us? Yes wins with 67 or 76%. Sorry.
Beautiful.
Wouldn't be here otherwise at 14%. And then no and Trekyards sucks. Both have 5%.
That's clearly Ray Ricks and Classic for Real, isn't it? That's our most loving fans have clearly put that to be annoying.
Oh, probably, yeah. Just to mess with us.
Just to mess with us. But hey, 90% say very much yes. We enjoy them too. These are really interesting. I find these generally quite enlightening.
Absolutely. I'm falling asleep. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you guys. This was a fun discussion, and we will be back with part 3 at some point. I don't know if it'll be quite as long necessarily. I don't know how many more are left.
When they start throwing DS9 multi-parters, which are justifiable, that'll be some debates. So those could be long for sure.
True.
But yeah, classic. And hopefully, guys, you'll be seeing anniversary content starting pretty soon. So just keep that in mind, and some stuff leading up to that as well. So, you guys make us go.
It's our anniversary month, guys. We're 10 years old this month, so...
Hello! It's funny, if we tried to do this sort of content this live then, we would not have discussed as well. The band would have been less good. The note, shorthand between me and you. Yeah.
10 years, a long time. Put up with him. Trust me, people. Probably the same on his end, though. Putting up with me is a joy and a delight, but...
Yes.
Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yes.
We'll see you soon. And until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Foley. And you guys, the amazing Trekyards audience. Because you are.
Yes.